Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. My name is Jeremy, and this week we are back with our horror battles. And last week we had a really good theme, and that was our Neo Monsters theme. So if you haven't watched those, definitely go check those out. Thought it was a really good week overall. But of course, since this is a horror battle week, you know the gist. We take two movies, battle them, and whichever one wins most of the rounds is victorious. And so this week I decided to have a zombie horror battle week for me, and I'm battling the original Dawn and Day of the Dead. But before I get into the battle, I'm going to review both of these movies very briefly, and then the battle will commence. So we'll start off with Dawn of the Dead. So Dawn of the Dead was made back in 1978. The director is George A. Romero, and it stars David M.G., Ken Foree, and Scott H. Reininger. And if that's not how you pronounce these names, I'm sorry. I couldn't find any interviews or anything with these people to pronounce their last names correctly, so if I am butchering them, I am sorry. And the general plot for Dawn of the Dead is following the ever-growing outbreak of zombies that have risen from the dead. Two SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his television executive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. And back when this movie was made, shopping malls was a bit of a new thing. I think even in the movie, it was, someone asked what that was because malls had just been made and there wasn't many, out there. And George Romero saw like a mall opening because he was friends with someone who owned a mall. I forget their name, but he wasn't even planning on making a remake to Night of the Living Dead until he saw this mall that he went to the opening of. And the movie came to his head, and with some help of his other friends, he got this movie out there, and it is a really good movie in my opinion. Really classic film. And he was taking quite a bit of a risk, if you think about it, because back then they could have been like MySpace. Everybody uses it at first, and then they move on to something different, which in this case is Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. But getting off of the social media, he was right. Shopping malls are something that you can almost go anywhere and find one. So that is, he was taking a huge risk there, and it actually paid off. He was right for, having them living in a mall. And so I thought that was, a really cool thing about this movie. And so now we'll move on to Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead was made back in 1985. The director is George A. Romero, of course, and it stars Laurie Cardille, Terry Alexander, and Joseph Pilato, and the one and only Sherman Howard, who plays Bub. So, the general plot for Day of the Dead is that it's been a couple years since Dawn of the Dead, and zombies rule the world, basically. We see our sole survivors flying a helicopter, trying to find other survivors to bring back to their place, which is underground. It's an underground bunker. And the scientists, well, the small group of scientists, live with some people from the military who are supposed to keep them safe, hold out orders, and try to find some way to make a vaccine, make a cure. And they're using the zombies in gruesome experiments. The doctor, Dr. Frankenstein, is what they call him. Always made me laugh when he was on screen. He cut off all the important veins and everything in this one zombie, like everything that would make it run except for stems to the brain. And he took out the stomach so it would have no urge to eat, and then he was, putting his finger towards the zombie's mouth and it tried to bite him. And he's saying that it acted on pure instinct. It wasn't hungry, it just did that, because of instinct. They're finding out stuff like this, but it wasn't good enough for the military. And stuff gets a little heated, some threats are made, and you have yourself a very good zombie movie. So definitely check both of these out. And I think now it is time for the horror battle. Alright guys, so round one for me is of course story. Which one of these films had the better story? That is really hard. I really like both of these movies. The one I could see both of them happening. Both of them are very plausible. For me, I'd have to go with Day of the Dead. Yeah, Day of the Dead. Just for me, I really like the whole situation with the military and how it's such a big time skip, that zombies have really taken over the world and they're trying, to find anything that could, flip the script, how Eugene said in The Walking Dead. I'm getting tongue-tied. So I really like that. And round two for me is effects. Which one of these films had the better effects in it? And I would have to go with... they both have their moments. My hair is killing me. It's been fighting me this entire video. I'd probably have to go with Day of the Dead. It had a lot, well, not a lot, but quite a bit more gore to it. I like the tongue zombie in the beginning of the film. And I just love the effects towards the end of the movie. I thought those was very well done. But Dawn of the Dead also had pretty good effects as well. And round three is acting. Which one of these films had the better acting? 3, 2, 1. I'm probably gonna have to go with Day of the Dead, just due to the fact that Sherman Howard did such an amazing job as Bub. Just different things, like when he first listened to the music, I thought that was just a really awesome scene. And even though I like more of the brain dead zombies, I really like the the idea that George A. Romero had. Romero, what is up with my voice today? Like his vision, that they could be taught, and that is, talked about a lot in this movie, that they can learn, that they can make them act the way they want them to. It just takes time. And I thought that was really cool. But like I said, I do prefer more of the brain dead zombies who just act on that instinct to eat, and it doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, so round 4 is gore. Which one of these films had more gore to it? I would also have to go with Day of the Dead. It's been a while since I've watched Dawn, but I remember the general plot for it. But I just remember a lot more gore in a Day. And kills. Round 5 is kills. Which one of these had the higher body count? I would have to say probably Dawn of the Dead for a change. The motorcycle gang that came into the mall, they was taken care of. You could say a lot of them got shot, a lot of them killed, from what I can remember. And that is it for this video, guys. So please leave a like, comment which one of these movies would have won the battle if you had been battling them, and also stay tuned for a video from Vanessa, Chris, and Pierce, because I'm pretty sure that the Horror Ninja filled in for Chris this week. But anyways, guys, check us out on Facebook. I'm going to be I'll try to post something today. So, yeah, once again, this is Jeremy telling you to be careful, because you never know what might be lurking in the shadows.